Hello there, my name is Ian Parks and I work with Mel at PremierDutching.com. Now, first of all, we hope you're enjoying your trial, and I'd just like to let you know about this new Dutching spreadsheet calculator that I've created, which allows you to break even on certain horses within the Dutching calculation. Now, there's been a few questions asked about the fourth saver horse that Mel puts in his email. Now, this video will do two things. First of all, I'll clear up the confusion about the saver, and I'll outline how this new calculator can be used in order to approach the fourth horse in the best way possible. Now, if you're a trial member and you'd like to get hold of a copy of this calculator is available for free to all full members of the service. So what you would need to do is, once you've paid your first PayPal subscription, just send an email to mel@premierdutching.com along with your name, the date of your transaction and your PayPal transaction ID, and what we'll do straight away, we'll send you a link for free which will take you to a page on the website which will allow you to download the calculator, and it'll have some proper instructional videos on there about every single feature of the calculator as well. But if you've been using the normal one, which is on the site, then you'll be familiar with everything anyway. But what this video will do now is just explain the main new feature of the calculator and how to use it. So what I'll do is I'll just show you this particular race, which is just a screenshot from Betfair. Now, what Mel's service traditionally does is Dutch the first three horses in a race only. Now, the confusion lies with this fourth selection, the saver. Now, what the saver actually is basically a fourth selection in the Dutch. Now, it's entirely optional whether you use this saver or not. Now, if you were to use the saver all the time and you were to Dutch four horses in every race, then what would happen is you'd see an increased strike rate overall at the expense of slightly reduced profits overall, whereby if you were to just ignore the saver all the time and only Dutch the first three as given out in the selections, then what would happen is you would have a slightly reduced strike rate overall, but you will find that you have more profit as well overall. So it's one of them things. Some people like to see lots of winners and don't mind taking slightly less profit, but some people don't mind seeing slightly less winners and want to see more profit overall. It just depends entirely on your own preference. So the best way to approach this is to make the fourth saver horse a break-even horse. Now, if you notice, the odds on this one are 10.5 Miller's Dawn. So if we go back to the calculator, you'll notice that I've already put the odds in for the first three horses. Now, assuming a stake of £100, this will be your back stakes for each of the first three selections, which, if you notice, is going to return £40.59 back if one of these three horses wins. Now, if you were to add in the fourth saver selection at 10.5, you'll notice that the profit dramatically drops to £23.99. Now, a normal Dutching calculator will return the same amount of profit back regardless of whichever horse wins. But what this calculator now allows you to do is to customize and structure or weight, if you prefer, each individual selection within the Dutching calculation. So as an example, if you notice, this fourth one returns £23.99. If you wanted to make that into a break-even horse, what you would do is you would play about with these buttons, which will reduce down a percentage of that particular selection's weight within the calculation. Now, they're all set to 100% at the moment, which basically means that the Dutching calculation works as normal and returns the same amount. So, but if you were to start reducing this figure down for the fourth selection, what you want to do is you want to reduce it down to 0 and I'll show you what I mean by that. If you reduce it down, keep moving it down. Now as you're moving it down, you'll notice that the money that's being removed is being added to all the other three. So once we get it down to 0, it just requires a little bit of fine tuning. The smaller buttons are fine tune buttons to get it down to where you want it. Okay, so the fourth selection is now a break-even horse. So if that fourth selection wins, if Miller's Dawn wins the race, the whole Dutch, what we've put down, doesn't win any money and doesn't lose any money. It's a completely break-even situation, and it's as if we didn't do it at all, which in my opinion is the best way to approach the fourth selection, because if you got it, that's assuming that you're going to use the saver. Now what you could also do to further expand on it is you could say if you were willing to accept a slightly less profit on the first favourite, say for instance, you could say half of that profit, let's as a rough example, say that's 26, so half of that's 13. So you're prepared to take half of that amount. So again, you'd move that down until it said 13. Just requires a little bit of fine tuning. Now if you notice, as you're removing the money off that first one, it's adding it onto the other three. So the one that you made break even before has now gone up to £4.36. So what you have to do is you just have to fine tune that one back to 0. Now it just requires a little bit of tinkering just to get it to where you want it to be, but it's not too difficult. So we'll put that one to 13, and then that one to 0, and you can usually get it within a few tries. There we go. Okay, that's the best we can get it. So you've now created a customized Dutch that is accepting half the amount on the first one if it wins, and you're covering the fourth one as a break even as well, and it's added all that money that you've taken off the first one and the fourth one, and it's added it onto the second and the third one. We don't actually advise to touch any of the weightings on the first three. The only thing that we do advise is to make the fourth saver if you want to use it into a break-even horse, but of course it's entirely customizable to what you want. But let's say you've done that. Now when you play with any of these calculations here and you change the percentages, you'll notice that this column here in the row will change to red, which will say ALT, which basically is a shortened version of it, means altered. And the reason why I've done that is just to draw your attention to the fact that that has actually been altered. So the reason why I've done that is if you save this spreadsheet and then come to use it the next day, what you want, and you put your Dutch in, you want to make sure that this isn't changed from the previous day, because it's going to mess up your whole Dutch. So your eyes are immediately drawn to the fact that it's red. So when you start the calculator each day, you want to make sure it's all green, so you can press this reset button. And also as well, if you've structured like quite a heavy bet, you can do reset all, puts them all back to green as well. Now I've seen a number of Dutching calculators in my experience, but I've never seen one that actually has this feature used in quite this way. You can have profit targets in other calculators and stuff like that, but it doesn't allow you to move it real time with buttons, and it requires a lot of sort of manually tinkering about to get it to where you want it, and it's not very intuitive, which led me to actually put this feature into my own calculator how I would like to see it. So I find it's best to have mathematics completely on your side and to try and squeeze as much as you can out of every Dutch that you make. So in making the fourth selection a break even and having complete control over the structure of the Dutch is the best way to go. So thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the proper video once you get hold of a copy of the calculator. Okay, thanks a lot. Bye for now. Bye bye.